What up, Ring Crew Army, and welcome back to a brand new episode of the Square Circle Podcast. I am your host, Marie Shadows, and thank you for tuning in to match 2 of the New Japan Sakura Genesis 2021 card that I am currently going over. And we are up to Bullet Club versus Choas, 10-man tag. So for Bullet Club, we have Kenta with his Bochan, Taiji, Yujiro, Dick Togo, and Evil taking on Chaos members Yoshihashi, Goto, Ishii, Yano, and Okada. So the story behind Kenta and his lovely bow staff is that Kenta has been messing with Yoshihashi for a couple weeks in New Japan Pro Wrestling and decided to take the bow staff and is cutting these lighthearted, funny promos on Yoshihashi and the bow staff, saying that the bow staff does not want to be with Chaos or Yoshihashi and that it doesn't get treated right. And he constantly says that Yoshihashi is ugly. Yoshihashi wants to get his bow staff back, and he is trying to get his bow staff back. But at every turn, it seems that Kenta has a one-up on Yoshihashi attempts to get the bow staff back. Apparently, Yoshihashi has said that the bow staff is not made to be used as a weapon. Then why do you come down to the ring with it? He could be winning matches and being a top star if he uses the bow staff correctly. After all, he is called a headhunter, so I don't know. But in the hands of Kenta and Bullet Club, you guys know that Bochan is probably being treated right. So let's just jump right into the breakdown of this match and then probably some more story bits. With all puns intended, every single member of Bullet Club and Chaos are in the ring, and chaos just happens between all of these men. They all start fighting each other and going out to the outside of the ring, and we finally get some order to this chaos by having Yoshihashi and Goto double teaming Taiji, and then Kenta, Yujiro, and Evil get double DDT by Okada. And then every member of Chaos comes in and does a drum session on Dick Togo, which is just basically the forearm windmills that they do, which is their patented signature. After that, we have Yoshihashi going after Taiji. Yoshihashi does some chops to Taiji, and Taiji takes down Chaos off the apron. Once he gets a little advantage, everyone again starts fighting on the outside. Dick Togo attacks Yoshihashi. There's a pin attempt. Yoshihashi kicks out. Dick Togo tags in Evil. Evil comes in and throws Yoshihashi into the exposed corner. The referee didn't see it, but Evil had taken off the blue corner pad of Bullet Club. And this is where Bullet Club gets dangerous. For those of you that watch New Japan Pro Wrestling and fans on Twitter, everyone gives Evil and Dick Togo a lot of shit about him being boring and him cheating to win and doing just mundane things within New Japan Pro Wrestling and definitely within Bullet Club. And people think that his move from LIJ to Bullet Club was definitely the wrong decision. But what you guys are not looking at, the bigger picture, is that Evil understands his role within Bullet Club, which is everything is evil and to make things into darkness. But him taking off the corner pad on their side, the Bullet Club side. And me, every time on this podcast, I say that Bullet Club is most dangerous when they are in control. Evil is the leader of making sure that the match goes in Bullet Club's favor, whether they win or not. If you guys can't tell, Bullet Club is not really obsessed with wins. If they win, congratulations. If they don't win, okay, they move on. But at least their opponent is hurt. At least their opponent remembers that they got a beat down from Bullet Club, whether that's from Evil, Jay White, the Gorillas of Destiny, Kenta, Yujiro, Taiji, and even ELP. And of course, with Jado and Gato and everyone else in Bullet Club, and Chase. their opponents remember that Bullet Club gave them a beating of their life. So you have to rethink and not only look on the surface level of what Evil does every single time. You have to look beneath the surface level and understand that Evil is using his leadership within Bullet Club to make sure that their opponents remember that Bullet Club was the one that beat them down. Win, lose, or draw, it does not matter. That is why it is important to really look at the details, and especially when Evil took off that corner pad. Because now, throughout the rest of this match, the ring is cut in half. Yoshihashi is getting the beating of his life, and the guys, especially Evil and Dick Togo, are throwing Yoshihashi into that exposed turnbuckle and doing more damage to his back, so that way they can get a victory over Chaos, and they could definitely hurt him whether or not they win. So think about that for a moment. And not only just criticize Evil for being boring and continuously cheating. There's a reason why he cheats. There's a reason to their madness. And that means Bullet Club as a whole. Bullet Club, it has always been great at taking down their opponents and showing up their opponents, whether or not they win or they lose. The only thing that you remember is the finish, and the only thing you remember is that Bullet Club dominated in all of their matches. High profile, low profile, any type of match. And that's all that Evil is doing. That's all that Dick Togo and Evil as a pair is doing, is taking apart their opponents. Having their opponents remember what darkness feels like. Having their opponents remember what evil feels like. And getting into the psyche of their opponents by breaking them down this way, by throwing them into exposed turnbuckles and using the environment to their advantage. That is what Bullet Club is good at. As Evil throws Yoshihashi into that exposed turnbuckle, he then tags in Kenta, and Kenta does the same thing to Yoshihashi, throwing him into that exposed turnbuckle and then kicking him one to the back and throw a knee into his gut. Kenta is now given the bow staff, and the referee sees this and tries to take it away from Kenta. Yoshihashi approaches both of them and takes the staff out of Kenta's hand and tosses it out of the ring. Kenta is trying to figure out what just happened, but quickly goes back to the offense with some combination kicks, and both men are now countering each other until Yoshihashi hits a clothesline on Kenta. This is where Yoshihashi goes over to his corner and finally tags in Ishii. Kenta goes over to his corner and tags in Yujiro, and there is a bunch of exchange shots between both Ishii and Yujiro, and then a shoulder tackle takes out Yujiro. Evil then comes in and kicks Ishii, thinking that he can probably help out. That doesn't help. Ishii sends Evil into the ropes, and Yano knees Evil in the back. And when Evil turns his attention to Yano, Yano snaps the neck of Evil over the top rope. Goto comes in with a shoulder tackle, and Okada comes in with a kick to Taiji, and then a flapjack to Dick Togo. There is a running elbow by Goto, and then a hip attack by Okada to Yujiro in the corner. And then they send Yujiro to Ishii to finish him off with a power slam. However, Yujiro kicks out at 2 from the pin attempt from Ishii. Yujiro then bites Ishii's hand, and both men go counter for counter of their moves until Yujiro hits a reverse DDT to Ishii. And then a fisherman buster to Ishii, and Yujiro goes for the pin. Okada comes and breaks up that pin. Okada then does a neck breaker to Kenta, and then there's a slam by Yujiro to Ishii. Evil then sends Ishii into the exposed turnbuckle. However, it gets reversed when Ishii throws Evil into the exposed turnbuckle, and then both men are down. Yano gets a chance to come into the match, and he sends Evil into the exposed turnbuckle and then does a pin attempt. Evil kicks out at 2. Evil then sends Yano to exposed turnbuckle. There is a fisherman suplex to Yano and a pin attempt on Yano, and Chaos breaks that up. Yano then low blows Dick Togo as Dick Togo tries to choke out Yano with the wire. And at the same time, low blows Evil then takes out a black hood and puts it around Dick Togo's head, closes it, and rolls Dick Togo up for a small package. The referee comes in and does 1, 2, 3 and gives Yano the victory and Chaos the victory in this match. Yano, man. Yano cheats to cheat while Evil cheats to help out his team and leave a beating on all the opponents in his path. See, there's a difference. I once advocated that maybe the low blows that Yano does should be banned in every match because it does not serve any purposes. It does not prove that you are better than the opponent because you want to take the easy way to low blow somebody. And it's completely different when Bullet Club decides to use the environment, use the ring to their advantage. There are some unwritten rules in professional wrestling that you could definitely use to your advantage. I'll definitely talk about that a little bit later coming up with the main event of Ospreay versus Ibushi. But I honestly do think that Evil should definitely say that the low blows that Yano does should be banned in these matches. That a wrestler should be smart enough to use their environment and use the momentum of their opponents in order to win the match rather than an easy low blow to give them the victory. So again, in this match, Chaos is the victorious team. And again, to my listeners, I would definitely like to hear your comments on this Bullet Club versus Chaos match. Anchor.fm/Square Circle Podcast has a wonderful voice message option. And then also on Twitter at Marie_Shadows, where you can definitely tweet me your comments about this match to keep the conversation going about Sakura Genesis.